What's going on, everyone? Welcome to Unsorted. It's a podcast. It's about life and Lego and sometimes fart jokes. So just remember, if it has not been stated yet, it is a not safe for work podcast, my little ones. I'm Joe from Skylab Bricks, coming to you from the Puritan utopia of Massachusetts, where we have managed not to kill a single witch in over 3 centuries. Today, we're going to be talking about tools. Not just the tools that we are, but Lego tools. Tools that we use for Lego, but also aren't Lego, but also things that could be Lego, and how we've all lost our goddamn minds. But I cannot do this alone or fully sober, so let me introduce, from Central England, the land of the pastiest of skin, the snaggliest of teeth, we got my boy, Sam Jones, the brick keeper. What's up, Sam?
What up? That's an intro, that is.
Like I have any space to make fun of someone for pasty skin. I mean, please look at me.
I always thought I looked quite tanned, but you know, hey.
Yeah,
Maybe
man.
I need to go back into the sunbed.
You're looking good in either case. And of course, he's my best friend from a country named after a marine animal, all the way from beautiful Wales. The myth, the man, the legend. It's Cut the Craggle.
Wait.
Hey!
That was really sweet.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah, I'm worried.
Why?
I feel all warm and tingly in my dingly.
Oh. Well,
That's the nicest you've ever been to me, ever.
He also used the word best friend.
from a country named after a marine mammal.
But it's not, because it's not even spelt the same.
Now, just to be
Wales.
clear, those two words have nothing to do with each other, do they?
No.
I am hosting today, and I'd like to apologize to the viewing audience for the scene that they are about to witness. I think I say that every week. Anyway.
Yeah, you're getting repetitive already.
Oh, no.
I don't mind it.
I'm losing my marbles. It's been a long week. Like we've been working on a project that's kind of coming to fruition next week, and so like it's taking up a lot of my mental capacity. Even though I'm having lots of fun with it, like it's a fun project, but I'm just kind of like, I can't wait for the weekend to like fart jokes, dick jokes, Craggle, Sam.
We should play podcast bingo as well. Or the audience should play podcast bingo.
Podcast bingo. Unsorted bingo.
Yeah,
Yeah.
every time Joe makes a fart joke, there
Every
you go.
time
That's
Craggle
one.
insults Joe.
There you go, another one.
Every time Sam starts acting a bit frisky.
That's it. There's another one.
Every time I forget where a European country is located. Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. You see bingo already.
Yeah, there we go. Free space. So, before we get to our main subject, I have a game for you two, and we might not get to our main subject.
Oh dear. Oh dear.
Okay.
Oh dear. Oh dear. Oh
I
dear.
wrote the description, so you're going to make me out to be a lying arsehole,
I know.
are you?
Well, it might be a part 1, part 2. I'm kidding. We might blow through this in no time. And we might have technical issues. So, let me see.
You're an
Present.
electrical engineer.
Yeah, not a software engineer.
I don't know if I'm ready.
I don't feel ready. I'm on the edge of my seat, mate, waiting to go. Oh jeez. Oh jeez. Oh jeez.
Okay, can you see that?
Yeah.
Would you rather? Oh god.
Okay, we are
Oh,
going to play a
Jacob,
game.
what did you do?
We are going to play a game of Would You Rather UK Battle Edition.
Oh no. What's going on?
By the way, I can't see your faces right now because the PowerPoint is covering everything. Okay, so we're going to play a game of Would You Rather with you two. And yes, my dear wife Emily helped me do a couple of these questions. So here we go.
I didn't say
Are you
that.
guys ready? Do you have your lube? Are you ready?
Oh,
Hang on, I
man.
might need to go get some more. I think I'm gonna run out.
Oh, I can't
Go.
believe you listened to Jacob when he suggested this, but then you've
Yeah.
taken it further by pitting me and Sam against each other.
And you've got flash graphics.
I know. Like, what's
I'm
going
trying
on
to do
here?
the cheesiest graphics possible. Okay, here we go, guys.
Oh,
Would you rather speed build one of these two Lego sets? The UCS Historic Failure of British Engineering, number 10294, the RMS Titanic, or the UCS Historic Triumph of French Engineering, number 10307, the Eiffel Tower. Sam, which one do you choose and why?
The Titanic.
Okay.
Just because it's big and long, and we know how I feel about things that are big and long.
Okay. Craggle, for the block.
near, far, wherever you are.
Please stop singing.
We get a copyright strike. It's that good.
I know, seriously.
Yeah, I'd go for the Titanic. Although
Okay.
one of our viewers has pointed out that it was actually the Irish that built the Titanic.
Oh, God damn it, you're right.
It,
The Irish
it was
did
designed
build it.
by English, though, I believe.
Yeah,
so-
yeah.
Yeah.
The White Star Line, as far as I know, was British.
Yeah.
Anyway. Okay, cool. Now. Would you rather march barefoot across a pile of Lego elements found only in the Titanic or the Eiffel Tower sets for the entire duration and to the beat of the 1988 smash hit, I'm Gonna Be, written by the Scottish band The Proclaimers? Now you can sing, Craggle.
I don't know this one.
I would walk 500
Oh.
miles and yeah.
Oh my day! What
Is that what it's called? I'm gonna be. I thought it was called 500 miles.
I'm gonna be parentheses 500 miles.
Oh, okay.
See, I've learned something new today.
Did you know the people who wrote it, the Proclaimers, are twin
yeah,
brothers? Yeah. Anyway,
I'm gonna say Titanic again.
okay. Why is that?
It's more colourful,
Okay.
you know, so that when I'm picking out the pieces from my shredded undercarriage of feet, I don't know, to the soles of my feet, I have something pretty to look at. I mean, to be
Okay.
honest with you, the Eiffel Tower is going to be pretty much covered in red anyway, so.
Sam.
Titanic.
Okay. Why is that?
Looks. There appears to be more flat elements.
There's less pieces in the Titanic as well, actually.
There
yeah,
is
but only
this
by
as
like
well.
900.
But that's
But, like-
still 900 pieces of Lego
like-
you don't have to walk over.
But like,
Yeah.
imagine no. Imagine an entire warehouse. Just the floor is covered
Wait, come on
with the
now,
elements found in these sets. So
He's
God.
moving the goalposts.
yeah, no. Maybe I just wrote the question wrong. Okay. Points
Still
off.
Titanic.
Points off for Craggle. Okay. Anyway.
Wait, we're getting points? Well, there's a right answer?
Talking back to me. Oh. Okay. Anyway.
I don't know what's happening.
I'm
Well, thank you.
scared.
Yeah. Okay. Well, now it's time for the next question. Would you rather? This is a hard one, guys. Would you rather disassemble and meticulously rebag number 71403, the Hogwarts Castle, or build number 21331, Sonic the Hedgehog Green Hill Zone?
He's done his research.
Oh, what a fucking question. Do you know what, though?
Go for it, Sam.
To some people who might not be aware, I famously built Sonic the Hedgehog Green Hill Zone on a live stream with Sam building at the same time, and it almost killed us. We're both fans of Sonic the Hedgehog. The finished set looks quite nice, but putting it together, just stacking dozens or maybe even hundreds of one-by-one plates on top of each other, trying to line them up, it destroyed our thumbs, it ruined our souls, and it left our dreams in tatters.
That was 3 hours of me and Craggle swearing at each other down the internet, going, "Who the fuck designed this thing with one-by-one plates?" It was.
I know, because they
ridiculous.
also, I think about 6 weeks before the set came out, they had already released in other sets the new brick, which is like, 2/3 of a high, which is exactly the same height as two
Correct.
one-by-one plates. They could have used that, but
in,
no.
So what-
in the color as well. in the same color.
I'm gonna go with Hogwarts Castle. I can't
Okay.
put myself through Green Hill Zone again. I already have
Okay.
PTSD because of it.
You know, I was going to do something like, or build 10 of Green Hill Zone. I was like, no.
No,
One.
just one is
One.
enough to put me off it.
Sam, your
I'm
official
with
answer?
Craggle.
Okay.
I'm with Craggle. Disassemble Hogwarts Castle and meticulously rebag it because I ain't touching. Now it's built, I ain't building it again. It's never being disassembled. It's just going to stay there because.
Yeah.
I really wish I could see your guys' faces right now because all I see is this stupid PowerPoint I spent 3 hours on. Anyway.
Jesus, this is going to be long then, isn't it?
Yeah, really. Okay. Next one. Would you rather speed build UCS oversized paperweight number 75192, the Millennium Falcon, or the UCS Space Nazi Fun Bus?
Number 75252, Imperial Star Destroyer. Now, I have built both of these. And I will tell you, a speed build of the Star Destroyer takes about 10 hours.
I think you broke Craggle, Joe. Oh, jeez.
Oh my word.
Okay.
Whoa, I'm crying. Oh.
Oh no, if you're laughing at this.
Oh wow. I'm
you know
gonna
what?
go. When you say speed build, do you mean like build in one sitting or something?
Just build in one sitting.
Um.
God, they'd just both be tortured doing it in one sitting.
Oh my word. I'll say Falcon because I think it's going to be a little bit more varied maybe in building techniques because it's not as symmetrical as the Star Destroyer. I don't know. I haven't built either yet, so.
Okay.
I'll say
Sam?
paperweight.
Okay. Going for the paperweight.
Space Nazi Fun Bus for me, please, mate.
Great.
Trying to keep a
Yeah.
straight face while saying that is ridiculous.
What the hell is wrong with me now? Every time I'm just going to think of a Star Destroyer, it's just going to be, the Space Nazi Fun Bus.
If it makes you feel better, someone sent me a meme that pointed out that Moff Gideon's Star Cruiser looks like a butt plug, and now whenever I see the set, I call it the UCS butt plug.
That's right. That's right. Did you ever see? Have you seen the videos of the dude who like did the one that's as big as a room, just like a giant one? Butt plug. Okay. Anyway. Okay, so we have one vote. We have one vote for the Falcon. One vote for the Space Fun Bus. Sorry.
Oh man.
Okay. All right. Now that you have made your choice, your decision.
Oh, God.
You then have to carry around your choice for an entire day and eat any piece that falls off.
Well, I picked the lighter one, so that's a win. But I feel there's more.
Are you sticking with your choice, or are you now
they get to
changing?
choose.
Yes.
Okay. I think I'm going to stick because I feel like, one, it's lighter looking at the stats you have on screen.
Barely.
Barely. But also, I feel like anything that falls off the Falcon is going to be like small greebling, like 1x1s, 1x2s max. Whereas I seem to remember someone picked up the Star Destroyer and like a whole wing came off once, so I don't want to eat a whole wing of the Star Destroyer.
Okay. Sam?
I'm inclined to agree with Craggle on this. I'm actually going to switch over to the Falcon purely because having built the Venator and knowing that it is done in rather large sections,
Okay.
and that methodology is probably also applied to the Star Destroyer or the Space Nazi Fun Bus. Yeah, I don't fancy eating any of those rather large plates. I don't think they would fit in my mouth.
I mean, you can cut them up. You can chew them up. You can swallow them. You just got to eat them. Okay, hold on. I got to write this down. Both are fucking cowards. Okay, anyway.
Cowards.
Okay, having built 3 Star Destroyers, I agree with you. a stiff breeze will knock that conning tower right off. You might lose an entire panel just by bumping it.
Oh man, yeah.
Which is why I completely redesigned it, and you can get instructions for modifying your Star Destroyer from Skylab Bricks Etsy store.
Marvelous plug, mate. Well done.
Guys, this is the one. This is like the hard question of this whole thing. So, a malicious and capricious God declares that thou shalt henceforth be forbidden from using your choice of the following. And I took these pictures. So, number 1, any plate with dimensions larger than 2 studs. So no 2x6s, no 2x8s, no 2x4s, no 1x4s or 1x3s. Or minifig hands.
I'm just thinking, what kind of sick fuck came up with this question?
Emily!
Emily!
That explains it.
Emily, do you know what? I used to like you, Emily. You know, I even considered maybe having like a side fantasy about you. You know, but no, not anymore. You're dead to me, Emily.
I mean, just, Craggle, what would you do? You're like, here, buy my minifigs. You have to provide your own.
Oh dear.
I'm gonna say the plates because I think I can get around that.
I was thinking about that. It's like, I can only use 2x2.
Oh,
I can work with that. I can't work without minifig hands.
You can't work without minifigs.
I have a custom minifigure business. What the hell would I do? Like,
You have to provide your own. It's just like walking around like, oh, this dude has no lips. Okay, Sam.
I would have to. I could live without minifigure hands. I don't think I've ever used them in any of my magical creations. But plates I freaking use everywhere.
Oh, yeah.
Especially 1x2s.
wait, we can get round this, Sam. If this god says, "Hey, Craggle, you can't use minifig hands," well, you can't use plates, but you can use minifig hands, and says to you that you can't use minifig hands, but you can use plates, we can just join forces.
That's true. No. Yeah, let's just fucking do that.
Yeah,
I'm down for that. Yeah.
Beat the system. Let's get Emily on here now so I can tell her to her face she's a sick fuck.
She said no. I was going to say minifig torsos, but she goes, no.
Oh, my word.
You could get around that. I'm like, yeah, you could. Hands. You have to put like saw blades on there. Last question. Let's see how this goes. Your Lego lover, that's you two. Your Lego lover has been caught using minifig hands and is in prison. You must sneak a fully built Lego set past the guards in one of your, quote, body cavities. Which do you choose? 92176 Apollo, the space penetrator, Saturn V, or 10237, the spicy fist of Sauron, the Tower of Orthanc?
Why the hell do I need to sneak in a Lego set past the guards?
I'm the one asking the questions here.
Like, are they going to use this to escape prison?
Probably.
How? Or can you not divulge that information on the airwaves in case someone is in prison right now thinking, that's how I get out of here?
Yes.
Right. Does it have to be built?
Yeah, it says fully built.
Oh, so it's fully built. Okay.
Yeah.
Man.
Or am I asking too much?
Yeah, I would just know. I'm pretty sure, biologically speaking, both of these would mean death.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You would cause irreparable damage to your internal organs.
Okay. You don't have to answer this one. This was mostly just for the humor.
I'm just gonna say that if my Lego lover was stupid enough to be caught using minifig hands, he deserves to rot in hell.
I love how you assume your lover is a he.
I said you two.
Oh, you just said you're Lego lover. You didn't say us two. I mean,
thought I
my
did.
wife is my lover, and she loves Lego, so
Okay.
she's my Lego lover.
Okay. All right, fine. Yeah, that one was mostly a joke. Okay, I'm gonna exit out of this.
No, really? I thought you were being serious. Wow. So who won that one then? What's the point score looking at the end?
I wasn't keeping score. What are you talking about?
You said you were making.
I have a fake paper here that just says that both of them are cowards.
You are a bad man, Joe.
Oh dear. I was going to say we could have ended up having a running total. I could have got a whiteboard for behind us. Like Craggle's won a game and Joe's won a game.
Oh.
I've won nothing.
Well,
I
mean,
feel
it was
cheated
why?
because
Why?
there were winners in both my games.
Oh, yeah, that's true. The winner is me because I thought it was fucking hilarious.
I will admit, right? Space Nazi Fun Bus. Genius.
Oh, don't set me off again, for crying out loud.
Okay, I'm sorry. I was trying to fall asleep. Emily and I were trying to fall asleep last night, and just every couple of minutes I just go, no hands.
That can be taken in so many ways
Oh,
as well.
man.
Why does
You were in bed last night with your wife telling her no hands. Wow. This is why we say this stream is not safe for work.
Oh dear. I'll make that 2 shovels I'm sending over to you now, Joe.
What's he going to do? He can't use his hands. He's going to shove up with his mouth. Stick one in either end and flail on the floor like some sort of human rickshaw.
Oh my god.
Oh dear.
Oh.
I have no tears left to shed.
I'd like to take this moment to thank everyone who's in the chat. Thanks for showing up. I'm so sorry. Okay.
You know when you just needed a day of laughter? You needed something to brighten up your day. This past 33 minutes has just been that. I'm not saying my day has been rubbish, but yes, this has been on point. It's perked me right up.
It's
Like
been
I said,
good. Yeah.
it's been kind of a long week. It's not been a bad week. It's just been like a very hectic, like lots of thinking, lots of engineering week. And so, yes, I've needed this. So,
Best 30 minutes of my life, I tell you that, lads.
okay. Whoa.
I wouldn't go that far.
Okay. Okay. So, Craggle, Sam, and I, we're all full adult friends of Lego, allegedly. Creators of one type or another. Craggle, you make custom minifigs. I make a lot of space builds, and I generally focus on really oversized and over-detailed stuff. Sam, what is it? What is it you do?
Anything and everything. I make
Yeah.
phallic-shaped objects just like you,
Awesome.
and then I make round things for my phallic-shaped objects to go through.
Awesome. So, as Lego creators, we sometimes have to use tools that aren't made by Lego. And if you talk to a purist, they're very strange people. We're weird, but like Lego purists are very weird. So, in accomplishing some of our builds, we generally use things that aren't made by Lego. And some things that you'd go, why would you use that on a Lego? And I've got some interesting things to show off. But Craggle, I wanted to ask you, just because I'm very interested in how do you make your minifigs? Like, what are the tools that you use for your whatever it is you do?
I don't believe you. We all know how you feel about minifigures.
Yes, and I exaggerate it because, I mean, it's funny, but yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it starts off with me as I have to obviously design the images that go on my custom minifigures. So the prints, I guess. I used to design in Photoshop, which is a pixel sort of imagery software, but it didn't really matter because when you're using pieces that are so small, I was doing it in a resolution that was far higher than I needed to anyway. But to help with, because I send them off my designs to a third party to get custom printed the designs onto official Lego minifigure pieces. To help with that process, they wanted a vector-based images. So now I use Illustrator, which is still Adobe, and I've also upgraded from using my mouse, or sometimes just using literally the touchpad on my laptop to draw, to using a graphic screen. So basically, it's another monitor, but it's has a pen, and I have a special glove as well that I put on, and I draw straight onto the screen now. So yeah, that's something that I've picked up and taught myself in the last couple of months. So I send those off, and they go off then to a third-party company who then UV prints them onto existing printers, existing pieces, Lego pieces. The UV printers, it's weird. There is kind of almost like a little bit. You mentioned about purists. There's some people who go, UV printing is not good. You want pad printing, which is what Lego use, which is a lot more expensive. If I did that, I would charge way more for my minifigures, and a lot of people would be priced out of them. I use UV printing, which, to be fair, Lego does on occasion use them. UV printers themselves, the ones you get in boxes, those minifigures will always be pad printed, but often if you get exclusive minifigures for events or printed tiles for events, they'll be UV printed. In fact, a lot of Lego stores now have the minifigure factory. Where you can, you go on, you basically buy a blank minifigure, you go onto the station, which has like, a touch screen, and you move graphics around, and then they print off your minifigure there for you. That is the exact same printers that I use for my minifigs. So it's good enough for Lego stores, it's good enough for me.
You don't own one of those printers. It's you send them off to get.
I send the designs off, and get someone else to do it. It's something maybe in the future that I'd like to own my own UV printer. But the footprint that would have, I'd have to have a dedicated room as well. So at the moment it makes more sense to outsource that. And the other thing I've started doing recently is I've started doing 3D printing for custom pieces, which will definitely upset people who are purists.
Yes. There's a reason why I don't own a 3D printer. Is like too many possibilities. I just get in trouble.
Yeah. Well, the one I use is a resin one. So there's like two main types of 3D printers. The one you have the filament, which does it layer by layer. The one I use, I don't know all the terminology because I'm still learning it myself. But basically, you have a plate that goes into a vat of liquid resin, and underneath it is almost like a scanner. It basically exposes UV light in a way that it does it a layer at a time, and then the plate rises up, and the thing you're printing sticks to the plate, so it does it bottom to top, but it exposes a UV to harden that bit of the resin. That makes sense. That thin layer up a bit more.
So kind of like Terminator 2 style, where he kind of turns into liquid and comes up.
Yeah, a little bit like Terminator 2. Okay. But yeah, I've been doing this stuff with that. Some stuff I've had people who are specialists in 3D modeling designed a 3D model for me, and then I've 3D printed the items myself. But I've also started getting into 3D modeling myself using Blender, and I suck at it. But I've done a couple of things which I'm proud of. And considering I only started learning about 6 weeks ago, I'm pretty chuffed with it. So,
so the minifigs that you use, are they officially manufactured Lego minifigs?
Yes. Yeah. Okay. So the only thing that's going to be custom is going to be like either a hairpiece or an accessory. I have done a couple of custom headpieces for like aliens this year. I've started doing, but mainly, what you're getting design printed onto is official Lego torso, legs and whatever.
Okay.
Heads.
And you can get it like blank torso. get colored white or
Yeah, sometimes you can.
Okay.
When I did one minifigure, I wanted mid-sized legs in a particular color, and they only came in one minifigure, and you couldn't get blank ones anywhere. So I had to order that
Interesting.
minifigure, and then I had to use an eraser to rub off the existing print on every single one. And the print went over the curve of the top part of the minifigure leg, and the flat bit was a lot smaller because they were mid-sized legs. So it took a long time, and goodbye fingers.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Okay.
You were a lot more dedicated to this than
Seriously.
Yeah.
Holy shit. Okay. Wow.
So there's lots of different software I use. Like, I still use Photoshop for some stuff, but I use Illustrator, Blender, also for renders and stuff when I do pre-orders. So yeah, lots of non-Lego stuff happening to make something that's custom Lego.
I mean, I mentioned the purists, but how much blowback do you ever get from like a purist who's like, you do what? To what?
I mean, I had one guy who said to me, as soon as I put any of my prints on a figure, to him, I might as well just take it and like drive over it 8 times and then flush it down the toilet because I've ruined it. And I was like, okay, whatever. Then I saw that this guy was actually hand painting Lego figures, and I'm like, I know I got no beef with that. It's not really for me. I mean, I've hand painted custom elements like hair pieces and stuff, but I was like,
Yeah, what's the
he's like
difference?
hand painting onto the torsos, and let's be clear, right? They were not good. But they were bringing him fulfillment. He was enjoying them.
Yeah.
I just
Yeah,
thought,
yeah.
why the hell are you throwing stones from your glass house at me? But yeah, most of the blowback comes from people who don't understand that custom minifigures are gonna cost more than something you buy in a packet that's been mass manufactured by Lego, $1 billion company.
Yeah.
I mean, to start off, as I mentioned, I have to get the Lego minifigures, and I don't get a discount for buying the minifigures. So I'm already getting that. If I have to erase the existing design, that takes time. Then I have to send them off and get printed. That person has to cover their costs. They also have to make a profit because they've got a business.
Yeah.
Then I got to repackage them. Then I got to do this and that. So yeah.
And of course, you have to go through all the. I mean, I've done kits in the past, so I know like all the bullshit of like packing things and take them to the post office.
And I guess, like I mentioned, the other pushback is from people who only want pad printed, which pad printed is supposedly
that's real
better.
high quality.
Yeah, it's supposedly high quality, but I have seen pad printing done really badly.
Yeah.
And likewise, I've seen UV printing done where you can't tell the difference. And my thing is, when people say to me, when they see a picture of my minifig and they go, "Is that pad or UV?" I'm like, if you have to ask, you don't need to ask.
You don't need to ask.
If you're not sure looking at it, then what's the issue? Do you know what I mean?
Right.
But I think some influencers have gone on, YouTube or Twitch or whatever and gone, "Oh, UV is terrible. It's really grainy." And there are grainy minifigures out there. I've had some myself in the past.
Right.
And they've created this sort of, I don't know what the word is. Not purist, but sort of like zealots almost, of people who are like, nah, pad or nothing, anything other than pad. Like one guy messaged me constantly, like asking, like, are these pad printed? I was like, no, UV. Then he's like, is these pad printed? I was like, no, UV. I mean, look at the price, mate. Pad printed figures go for like 8 times the cost of a UV printer.
Well, because they
minimum.
have to make, as far as I know, they have to make a custom screen for every time.
Yeah,
basically.
for
everything.
You're making a new pad, basically.
Yeah.
And he was like, "Oh, that's really unfortunate." I was like, "No, not really. I'm happy with quality of my figures. Every customer I've sent them to has been happy with them. I've had one misprint that I missed and sent out to a customer, and I sent a correct one out to him sharpish and apologized. That, what's the deal?" And he was like,
Sharpish.
"Oh, they just look awful to me." I'm like, "Well, clearly they don't, because you were curious whether or not they were pad. So if you can mistake them for pad print and then they don't look awful."
That's it. If you can't tell the difference, then
what's the point?
Yeah.
Okay, Sam, what do you got going on?
I'm a little bit like yourself, having designed many weird things and then actually built them. I am a big serial user and abuser, if you will, of Bricklink Studio. It's a great freaking tool.
And everyone, it's free. go to bricklink.com. Get Bricklink Studio. It's a fun program.
It is.
If you want to know what it is like to be an engineer of some type, it's always some CAD programming. You can learn CAD through Bricklink Studio.
It's a Lego tool for Lego tools.
And it is owned by Bricklink. Is owned by Lego. They
Technically,
Yeah.
Yeah.
They became part of the Lego group in 2019.
That's a whole loaded topic for another podcast, that is.
It is
Yeah.
indeed. It is indeed.
Yeah.
But the point is, there is this free tool out there that you can do to make cool shit like all of this, because Joe designed the Saturn V MLV in it. I designed the TARDIS in it, the Stargate in it. Craggle, did you use Studio for the Dirt Farm, didn't you?
I think so.
I think you
Yeah.
did. Yeah, you sent me the Dirt Farm in the Studio file.
I think so, yeah. I think some stuff I've done Studio. Generally, I tend to do Mecha Bricks because it's easier to import designs for minifigures,
Images.
so I can see what the minifigures look like.
Hmm.
But
Okay.
Mecha Bricks, the only issue is if I want to make instructions or something like that, I've got to like almost rebuild it from scratch in something like Studio because there's no way to make instructions from Mecha Bricks.
Right.
And Mecha Bricks is an online only tool. It's gone to a website, so
That's it, yeah.
if it crashes and you haven't saved,
Bye-bye.
Uh-oh.
But it is a great tool. I should have mentioned Mecha Bricks as well. Definitely a great tool out there. And I think it's done by one person. One person is responsible for making all the 3D
Wow.
models that I used
Wow.
in it. Yeah, so fair play
That's
to them.
insane.
You mentioned the other really cool thing about Studio is that you can make instructions out of it.
Mhm.
I've made, let's see, one of the versions of the LUT I have is 3,000 steps, and all made in Bricklink Studio. So it's a great program.
Every single one of my projects I've done instructions for. Whether I've completed all of them or not, it's a separate topic and then one for another podcast.
Sonic screwdrivers. That's all I've got
Sonic
to say to you.
screwdriver, man.
Well, you haven't told us what you used, Joe.
Okay, well, I'm sharing screen right now. Okay, so I'm going to use this as an example. This was my build last year at Brick Slopes. This was another one of those ones where I joke about I couldn't stop until the voices did. And I don't mean that literally. I mean, like, I just couldn't stop until I had the Battle of Endor that I wanted in my brain. You don't see very much of the supports or what's going on here. I used a lot of stuff that is not Lego. For those listening on the podcast, this is 2 Star Destroyers. One of them is blowing up. The background is the Death Star and Endor, and we have 3 Rebel cruisers. 2 of them were designed by me. One was designed by Jorstad Designs, and a few other Rebel ships. This is everything I love about Lego and Star Wars right here. Space battles.
And just for those who are listening, it is fucking huge. When he says Star Destroyers, he's talking the UCS Star Destroyer. 2 of them.
2 of them.
I think you mean the Space Nazi fun bus.
I'm sorry, this
Correct.
Space Nazi fun bus.
One of them is not having very much fun. Now,
Depends on
No.
where you put it.
if you're a Lego purist, please close your eyes, because what you see here is a view from the back of the Star Cruisers, and you see these black rods here. That's not Lego. Those are these. This is 2020 aluminum bar, which has a
Aluminum?
T-slot in it.
What's aluminum? Do you mean aluminium?
I'm gonna fucking turn this thing off.
Aluminum?
We say aluminum over here, buddy.
Aluminum? Where's the O? Where is the O?
You're wrong. Here we go. These are metal bars, and surprisingly, these are soft enough bars that I was able to cut them using my otherwise wood saw, which is another tool that I use. And being an electrical engineer, also, I did all the wiring and lighting you see there. So, right
Is that why
here,
it sucks?
what?
I'm joking.
What?
I'm joking. I've seen the footage. It looks amazing.
What you see right here is my handy dandy soldering iron, which I use more than I should on Lego, honestly.
I do like how you've used forced perspective as well to keep
Yes.
the ships, when you look at it from the front on, the ship, you can't tell that those bars are there.
No, you can't. No.
Yeah, and that was the whole point of that.
Yeah, just
is
just
that-
for someone in the chat, someone's asked, "Is the background art Lego?" I think the background is done custom art mosaic. Is that right?
It's art mosaic Lego. Yep. It's all.
But it is all custom. It's all Joe's design. It's not an existing set.
Yep.
You know?
Yeah, I made those made that mosaic on Studio. They have a mosaic maker tool. Go play with Studio, everyone.
Go back with Studio.
Go play with Studio. It's
By
got
the way, when you say
so many-
Studio, it's called stud.io. How clever is
Oh,
that?
yeah, of course. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Uh,
Okay. Yeah, we're running out of time here. So this is you can kind of see some of the support.
it's fine. I'm not editing this week. Sam's editing, so we can go as long as you want. I haven't got to deal with it. I haven't got to.
I'm worried about
down.
people getting bored.
I love you guys. I really do.
Oh man, I'm sorry. These are really cool pictures of some of how I did this, but it's also giving me PTSD because this is when we were selling our house in Utah. This might make some people cringe, but what you see right here.
Hello.
Yes. Okay. I made some brackets where I actually drilled holes through Lego. Don't tell the rabid purists, but if I want a Mon Calamari cruiser floating in space, sometimes you
drilled
gotta.
through Lego.
I know. But I promise it was used. It was used bricks.
Well, it's definitely being used now.
Yeah, no going back.
I used Technic bricks Technic plates that had holes in them as much as possible.
I was going to say, could you not have used those Technic plates with holes in? Would they not have fitted the size of your screws?
Don't tell him this now.
Yes, they could.
I was going to say, yeah,
Oh,
that
wait.
face just kind of.
Oh no.
Where were you years ago when I was doing this?
Now, Sam, we can cut Craggle out of this, right? Because I got to tell you something. I also use super glue in some places for this build, and I don't know if Craggle would be my friend after this, but
How much super glue?
like 12 bottles. I'm just kidding. Barely in. We've lost him. Craggle's gone.
Crackle.exe is broken.
It's broken.
Crackle.exe is not responding right now.
Would you like to restart Craggle.exe?
I mean, in all fairness,
wait.
I've been to Lego House and they use glue on the models there.
Yeah.
It hurts, but when you're doing something of that size, you kind of have to, I guess.
Yeah, and part of this is saying, like, you will run into purists out there who are, like, gatekeeping and everything.
Yeah.
Shut up. Just make something. Do something, even if you have to cut Lego. I mean...
I've cut Lego. Do you know my original Ghostbusters 2 Ecto 1A? The pneumatic tube that goes from the roof rack to the bomb, the grey one, didn't come in any lengths that would fit and didn't look silly. So in the end, I got one that was longer than I needed, measured it how I wanted it, and then cut it. And do you know what? That upset a lot of people. And that's like a little rubber tube thing, you know?
Yep.
So,
Yes, here's my radial saw. You can actually cut these aluminum pieces. So that's probably the craziest tool I've used on Lego or associated
I know,
with Lego.
there's me talking about using Photoshop and Illustrator to design Lego. Sam's like, oh yeah, I use a Lego owned, Bricklink Studio, and then Joe's like, I use a radio saw to cut through aluminum. Like, what the hell, man?
You can see some of the wiring here. I spent a lot of time doing the wiring. I had to do a little boost voltage converter right there in one of these guys. Stuff that's interesting to people who are into electronics or electrical engineering. Basically, a lot of wiring, a lot of modifying.
Basically, this whole setup of this show and this topic was that you could basically show off that all the cool and stuff that you do that's non-Lego to make Lego, whereas me and Sam
Right.
were just like, oh yeah,
What-
we use like software to help make us make Lego stuff. You're like, I use radio saws, soldering irons, aluminium,
Sure,
aluminium,
do
free. I don't know.
I do feel kind of inferior now. I feel like I'm not putting enough effort in.
Oh, I definitely feel inferior.
Honestly, what I'm trying to do is say, hey, people, Legos are for fun. Lego is for fun.
Well,
What you're
Do
trying
what
to say,
you
yeah, you're
want.
definitely trying to
Do
say
what
it.
you want. If you don't want to use Craggle, everyone, hot glue guns are amazing because after you glue some pieces together for a display or whatever, the hot glue peels right off. So
Though be careful because on some plastics it actually fuses, as I found out.
yes, yeah, it
Yeah,
can. So do some tests.
Yeah, do
I'm not
tests
gonna.
first.
I'm not gonna blanket statement say it works every time, but it's really helpful
Yeah.
sometimes.
Generally, it's one of those ones that holds together really well, and then you just peel it off when it comes off, and you think, "How the hell was that holding so well when I can peel
Yeah.
it off with like no effort?" It's bizarre.
It actually, in my experience, I'm answering one of these questions here in the chat. Is it it doesn't melt the Lego. It doesn't get that hot. It might on some. So
Yeah.
I'm not, like I said, not a blanket statement, but to route wires through these engine nacelles right here, I actually had to glue some of those on and drill holes through those engines to get the wires in there. It was really fun, but also, oh, and there's our dear friend
Space time.
Space Time. Yeah, that brick slopes was the most stressful I've been in my entire life because we were moving a couple weeks later. Emily was already here in Massachusetts starting school, and I was taking care of our son by myself. I guess my point for this was I love the Lego community. I think it's really cool. I don't like gatekeepers in the community. Like, create, make, do something. Like, there are so many tools out there for you to use and listen to because Tool is an amazing band, guys. Jesus, I can't believe you don't know Tool. Anyway, there's just so much stuff out there. When I got into AFOL building, I didn't know I wasn't allowed to do certain things. And then I came around to like, wait, who the hell is saying I'm not allowed to do this?
Yeah.
The term illegal building technique, I love learning those.
What's funny is though, so many illegal building techniques in the last, I would say, 6 or 8 years, I've seen Lego adopt and use in sets.
yeah.
Like
Yeah.
I've seen them use, plates, at a 90-degree angle, wedged
Yeah.
in between two studs, and that was always
Yep.
a no-no. But I think it was in an
Yeah.
inside set in one of the graveyards they used it, or it might have even been in the haunted, the drop ride mansion one. But yeah, so
Interesting. Yeah, sorry. I wanted to talk about this topic a little more, but
Jacob Neely, this is a on topic one, says, what would you guys say is your favorite tool you use in your guys' arsenal?
I've got an answer to this actually.
go for it, man.
Doing instructions and working with people like Craggle. Craggle likes to push and encourage people to do cool stuff, and and I mean it's absolutely
Are
genuine.
you saying I'm your favorite tool?
No, no. I'd be very careful here. No, so Craggle likes to push me to do cool stuff, and I really like that, and it has brought out some really good stuff. So one of the cool things we did was on the Dirt Farm instructions, we did a progress bar. Now Craggle designed that progress bar,
That's
and
cool.
he made it look awesome. But what I really liked doing is I didn't like the idea initially of having to do, move it along page by page, do a bit of maths to work out how many centimeters I needed to move it along. So I went, right, I have Photoshop. Craggle sent it to me over in Photoshop. I made a script in Photoshop that literally goes, how many pages is it? Are you using an A4 page? And you just go, yes, type in all these numbers, and it creates you 140 progress
Yeah, where did you
bars
get
that
the script from?
I may have asked third parties
Skynet.
to help me.
You are Skynet. You're feeding the machine revolution, my friend.
Yeah.
Hey, it helped me. I got there. And now I can do progress bars in any shape or form. So that script for me is the greatest tool I have because of Craggle. So
I'm gonna have to borrow that from you, man. That sounds awesome.
Yeah.
To answer your question, Jacob, Studio is actually the thing I use the most, and it's the most relaxing thing for me is designing and making instructions. But as far as the most satisfying tool I have, my rubber mallet, because nothing gets plates together like this thing. when you have to use it, it's very satisfying. Craggle,
Hello.
do you have a favorite? Or
I see. With me, I rely on like a few of them together, so I don't know. At the moment, the one I'm
Okay.
enjoying the most, learning and having fun with, is the 3D printer. So I'll say that at the moment, just
Okay.
because it's the one that's newest to me, and it's the one that I'm exploring and refining how I use it, and it's opened up whole other possibilities. Because before, if I wanted to design a minifigure, I had to think, what hairpiece am I going to use? What accessories are there existing already? Maybe I can custom paint an existing Lego hairpiece if it doesn't come in the right color. But if there's not a hairpiece that's suitable, then really it kind of kills the whole character. Now, I can make my own hairpieces. I can make my own accessories. So I'm really having a lot of fun with that.
I think that was a great question, Jacob. Well done.
yeah, well done.
Well done, Jacob.
Okay. If no one has any other questions, guys, is there anything else you want to talk about? Or should we bring this Nazi space Nazi fun bus to a screeching halt? Craggle, any last words?
I don't know.
Okay.
I'm Cut the Craggle. You can find me on this YouTube channel that you're watching right now. You can also find me on Instagram at Cut the Craggle. Other social media accounts have varied amounts of engagement. But you can also go to my website, cutthecraggle.com, where you can buy my custom minifigures that we were talking about earlier on in today's episode.
Sam, plug your pluggables. What do you got going on?
You can head to my Etsy store, which the link is in the description of this handy little video down below, and you can get instructions for Stargate, Big Boo Box called the TARDIS, Dalmatian Penis, and the Beagle 2 Marslander that Britain launched, and it got to Mars. We just never heard back from it. Fascinating bit of space history for you.
There was an attempt.
The Martians ate it.
Well, you can also get Dirt Farm as well, because Dirt Farm is the coolest thing that I've got in my rack.
Oh boy. Okay. Well, thanks everyone for joining us. I'm Joe from Skylab Bricks. You can go over to my Etsy site where I have instructions for lots of crazy large space builds and also, strangely, the Maryland flag. Follow me on Instagram. I try to post things. I've been taking a break over the last couple weeks. Trying to get into the groove of this podcast. So come follow me on Instagram and come see about wares and sundries on Skylab Bricks Etsy. I think that's it for today. Next week, we will be discussing the nutritional value of grinding up Lego bricks and putting it into your morning coffee. See you next week.
Bye.
Bye.